Welcome, fellow Puttyman here, and today we are reviewing the first episode of What If. But before we get started, I want to explain how this premiere episode will work. The first part of this episode will explain what the series is all about and where it comes from, with also some examples. Then we'll go into the review. The review will be spoiler-free, and no worries, I do have timestamps at the bottom of the screen, as well as in the description, so you just skip anywhere as you please to the review and the Easter eggs and so on. So if at any point you do enjoy this video, then I please need to ask you if you can hit that like and that subscribe button. Alright, let's begin with the full details of What If.
I am the Watcher.
Yes, he is the Watcher, and there's a lot to go into detail with the Watcher. The first theatrical showing of the Watcher was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with my hero Stan Lee. But in order for me to explain who the Watcher is, I need to explain what is What If. The date was February 1977. Many great stories have been established in Marvel Comics, from Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, and the X-Men, and a slew of others. But just to name a few. But an idea was created. What if certain key moments in Marvel history had changed slightly? What would be the outcome? How will the future unfold? Only the reader and the Watcher who ought to really know. And this is where What If and the Watchers came to be. Let me show you an example with probably the most famous and often unknown comic book. The first appearance of Wolverine in the Incredible Hulk comic book number 181 way back in November of 1974. In the prior issue of the Hulk was fighting the Wendigo in Quebec, Canada, where Wolverine made his first appearance in the last page. Then, in issue 181, we got an all-out brawl between Hulk and Wolverine, where Wolverine was directed to bring Hulk into the Weapon X facilities by the Quebec authorities. Unfortunately, this does not happen, as the Hulk knocks out Wolverine after a long battle. Soon after, the Hulk pursues the Wendigo, and that is all is left of Wolverine Hulk's epic battle. Both live and move on to create great stories in their respective books. But then, we head to the future, where in February of 1982, we got asked, what if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? This is the What If issue number 31, and on the top right of the panel, we find the Watcher narrating what this story is all about. I am the Watcher. For untold millennia, it has been my task to observe the pivotal events which help shape the reality of the world. Witness, if you will, one such moment. It began when the man-monster called Hulk wandered into Canada and battled the accused cannibal creature of the North Woods called the Wendigo. Fearful for the rampaging creatures, the Canadian authorities dispatched a special agent, a mutant possessing amazing agility and indestructible adamantium steel skeleton, to capture them. But what if something had gone wrong? What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? As the story progresses, the Watcher explains what slight trigger or difference in the story might change the outcomes of a broader story. In this case, Wolverine becomes enraged, and instead of doing what he's been directed, he disobeys his orders and rips into the throat of the Hulk, leaving him dead. Of course, the news of this shocks the Marvel Universe, with Spider-Man, the Avengers, Daredevil, and the Fantastic Four witnessing the news. Later, in a local bar, as Wolverine is bragging about his strength and his victory, a civilian challenges his strength and pulls a gun on him, and instinctively Wolverine kills the man, making him a wanted criminal. Now, this brings Wolverine to Magneto's attention, and Magneto utilizes him to infiltrate Xavier's school and destroy Cerebro. Unfortunately for Wolverine, he grows attached to Jean Grey, and after Magneto attacks the school, Wolverine jumps in front of an incoming panel, going straight for Jean Grey. Wolverine then turns on Magneto, almost killing him, and in Magneto's last breath, he uses his magnetism to force Wolverine's own blades on his own throat, killing him. Now, In the world of What If, the watcher can only observe and narrate the events. He is not allowed to tamper or change any direction this alternate reality may bring. But his strength to bring alternate realities is also what makes him so strong. The Watchers as a whole are all powerful, but are bound to not tamper with any realities. This brings us to What If, the Disney Plus series where the MCU is now set up with alternate realities. This is why the show was presented after the events of the Loki series. But according to Kevin Feige, the difference from the comic books and the MCU is that these realities are true and canon, and will shape the future of the MCU in so many ways. And now, this is my review for episode 1 of What If. Welcome, fellow your pothead Joe Pop Puttyman here, and welcome to our first review of What If, episode 1, called What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger. Of course, this was a great episode. Off the bat, I can already tell you, if you haven't watched it, definitely go and watch it. I am going to explain to you why I enjoy this, but before we get into that, if you can, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's a big deal to me, guys, and it really helps out the channel. So, with that being said, I loved what they did with this episode. I love what they did just in general with the animation style. The animation style definitely has an old 90s Disney feel to it, and I'm glad they did that. It works perfectly for what this series is, to give it that realism and to make the characters look like what we expect in the Marvel Universe. They used the original voice cast for this, which is amazing, and we do know for a fact that based on the trailer, that all these episodes are going to connect to the final 9th episode, which I won't explain that. I'll just let you guys be surprised by that. But as far as the episode, this was a good starting episode. It actually feels like it combined the start of what Iron Man and Captain America did in those two first movies, combining it into one. And what I won't go into detail what I mean by that or anything like that. You definitely need to watch the episode. But as far as the stylized animation, amazing. I do also like if you watch the beginning of my video and I explained how What If worked, they did the same thing in here where there was just one small moment that changed everything. I'm not going to say what the moment is. Definitely need to watch it, but one small moment made it what if da-da-da-da-da happened, and that changed the course of the episodes. And of course, when I get to the Easter eggs, I will explain some of that stuff as well. I dropped in a few Easter eggs because this video is going to be long. I'm hoping that and I felt like this episode didn't have as much Easter eggs outside of things like visual concepts, things of that nature. But again, we're not going to get into that till we get to the Easter eggs section. So, but yes, I recommend this wholeheartedly. I think you guys need to go ahead and watch it. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into the Easter egg section of this video. So again, if you don't want any spoilers, definitely stop the video right now. Okay, now for our first Easter egg, we actually have Steve Rogers here stating something about the sticking her in a USO tour. Of course, this is a joke on the first Captain America movie, Captain America the First Avenger, and if you remember, that's exactly what they did to him. They put him into a USO tour with a bunch of dancers, so on and so forth. So it is nice to see that they made a joke about what would happen if he actually became Captain America. Again, alternate universe, I explained it earlier. Let's continue. So for our next Easter egg, we have the Hydra Stomper, or what I'm calling the first Iron Man, piloted by Steve Rogers. Remember, this takes place in World War II, so this is before, or World War I. I forgot which World War it is. Oh my god, my brain just parted. Anyway, but this would make that Steve Rogers would, even though it's called Hydra Stomper, would be the first Iron Man. So, because you gotta remember, Iron Man doesn't exist until, what, in the 2000s? So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Rogers, the first Iron Man, even though it's called Hydra Stomper. Let's continue. Next, we have the point where the tentacle monster that's coming from another dimension comes in. This is actually what I think, and this could be just rumors because we can't see the whole thing, but I think this is Shumagurath. Shumagurath actually appears in one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. No, I'm sorry, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, actually, I think it was. No, it might be 2. I'm sorry, I'm misquoting. Anyway, but he is actually one of the characters in the game, and he also appears in the comic books, of course. He is a huge tentacle monster, and I don't remember if I think there was purple suction cups on him. I'm not sure at one point, but I think that's what this character is that you see, or the tentacles coming out of the other dimensions. So I think this is Shumagurath. And now for the final Easter egg, we notice that both Hawkeye and Nick Fury are there. They've activated the Tesseract, but last time, if you remember, Loki came out of the Tesseract instead of Captain Carter. So for me, I think this changes basically everything. Yes, she becomes the first Avenger, but I think because, one, Hawkeye does not turn evil because Loki doesn't take over his powers. Of course, he's familiar with Captain Carter. There is no relationship between her and Steve Rogers unless the time travel happens with Thanos. And this alters the reality of Captain America even being over Captain Carter. And was there even a war in New York when no aliens coming out? Because clearly she killed the tentacle monster, which again, I still think it's Shumagurath. I could be wrong. But who knows? And there you guys have it. Those are the Easter eggs I found. I actually looked up the C-13 that you see on the Hydra Stomper's outfit to see if it was a reference. And it does bring up some of the old comic books, but nothing close to what I was thinking it was. So if there is a reference or an Easter egg to C-13, definitely tell me in the comments below. Also, I know that people are going to bring this up, but there were plenty of times where there was the visual presentation of things when it comes to it. So, for example, and I'm going to show you one of them. For example, I think this is it right here. The part where not right there. Sorry. Right here, and which is the train part, and then of course the part where she actually comes out, guns blazing, with the troops, right here. So this scene right here was actually more of a Easter egg too, if you think about it, because right here where she's standing actually had Captain America instead of her. So that's another little Easter egg, but I didn't really make it a big deal in this video because of that, because of where it stands as far as character-wise. So, yeah, again, phenomenal episode. I can't wait till next Wednesday to see the next episode of What If. What if we get the one about Black Panther becoming a Star-Lord? What if we get the one about Thor? Actually, I think we're going to get the one about Thor, because I think what they're doing is going in order of when the characters appeared in the original movies. And if you remember, the first and second movie was Iron Man and Captain America, which fits the part here with Captain America and, of course, Hydra Stomper, which I don't know if they're going to make another Iron Man type character. I don't think they do. So, but anyway, again, thank you all for watching. Again, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, as a side note, if you can, they are going to be putting Gamora's skin in Fortnite. So if you could, please use my supporter credit code. That's Puttyman _ Puttyman with _ at the end, #ad. If you plan on buying the Gamora skin, that's just a little extra right there for you guys. Anyway, as always, I am Puttyman with Gamer Pilots. Thank you for watching my first review. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. And do not forget, we're all about to high score. Peace out. I'll talk to y'all later.